At least 3 dead bodies being taken away within the last few minutes. We've only been here a few hours and we've seen, well, half a dozen people die in front of us outside here whilst they've been waiting to get treatment. We've spoken to people who are absolutely distraught, who are begging for oxygen, who are calling on the government to help, who are calling on anyone to help. There's people lying out here in the open who are attached to oxygen tanks. And they're the lucky ones, to be honest. They are the lucky ones. Some of them still waiting. One man told me that his brother waited for 6 hours to get oxygen just on one of these gurneys out here. He got oxygen and died within minutes of receiving it. It was just too late. It is an absolutely desperate situation here. This is the casualty area. This is just the area where people are trying to be admitted into the hospital, which is already full to capacity. One of the people inside whose mother is being treated told us that there were 7 oxygen tanks to 70 people. So there's a general feeling of great desperation. This man here who's lying on the ground there, still gasping, we spoke to him earlier. He's been waiting for at least 5 hours to be admitted into casualty, where they will assess whether he can be admitted into the hospital. Let's have a chat to one of the relatives of the patients. Tusha, we spoke to you earlier about a very desperate situation in there. Tell me, who do you feel is to blame for all of this?
To blame? Actually, it's really very easy to blame anyone. But if there is one primary source of lack of mismanagement here, that is the Delhi government, the state government. Because these hospitals are the responsibility of states. These are the resources of states. And whenever a disaster comes, the government should always support its citizens.
But earlier you were telling me you saw there was lots of blame at lots of different people. You blamed the government, you blamed the people, you blamed the lack of organisation. Yeah, tell me, who do you blame? What are your thoughts now? What's the situation like in there? Tell me what your thoughts are.
The situation is not good. It's worse, actually. But I would like to make it clear that the situation is going to be more worse if the authorities and government do not listen to us. The status of oxygen is that oxygen is available for only the patients who are inside, not for the patients who are coming new.
And actually, sorry to interrupt you, but here's someone here at the moment being brought in on... and this is what we've seen happen over and over again whilst we've been here at this hospital. They arrive in a terrible state. We saw one woman earlier who arrived, and within minutes she was declared dead and had passed away. They are arriving here very, very late and telling us that they've been to several hospitals before coming to this one. There's no dignity in a lot of the admissions here. There's no dignity in death here. And there's a lot of very distraught relatives, a lot of, here's someone else who's being wheeled away. Many of these patients are dying before they actually get help. And the city, it seems, the capital of India, is being overwhelmed. And this is one of the biggest hospitals in the capital. So there's a large suspicion and worry that the actual really, really high figures are very underreported, actually, way out in the countryside and in the rural areas. And this is the worry, that even with these astronomical figures and with this blame being apportioned to the government for holding political rallies, for instance, for allowing the Kumbh Mela festival, the religious festival, which 10 million people have been attending, to go ahead, is responsible for this massive spike. And they just did not anticipate this second wave, which, as one commentator put it, has turned into a tsunami.